Okay, so I decided this year to invest in Lynne McTaggart's Intention Masterclass 2025, The Power of Eight. And it's supposed to be a life-changing experience. And it's all about the secrets of intention and how we can manifest basically our reality. And each week I thought what I would do is I would tell you all about it and how it is going. It actually goes on for a year. There are 6 sessions with Lynne McTaggart, who is an expert in intention and trying to create our reality, basically, manifestation and the way that we think and our beliefs and how that alters the way that we live our lives and how we can accomplish so much with our minds and mental rehearsal. This is basically what Lynne McTaggart embraces, and I signed up for her Intention Masterclass. So I thought it would be really good if I shared it with you each week, because first of all, there are 6 sessions where Lynne basically talks about intention and how to kind of change the way that we're thinking, our limited beliefs, any blocks that we have, and how to do mental rehearsal and how to be very specific with our intentions. And then after the 6 sessions with her, we then get put into groups of 8, and in those groups we all start to create intentions. Often it's based on altruism, whereby we actually intend for each other. And I wanted to tell you about the very first session that we had on Saturday that's just gone, and then I will tell you about it each week. So first of all, let me just find my notes. I'll write everything down. So let's see, what have we got here? Okay, so as a individual who suffers from anxiety disorders, and also trauma and complex trauma, agoraphobia, that kind of thing, I've always been fascinated on how we create our reality through our intentions and our beliefs. I know how powerful the mind can be. For example, I overcame OCD once, but the way that I did that was by using another thought to overcome my OCD, which was basically, I actually used fear on myself. So that's probably not the right way of manifesting anything. But considering the fact that I was spending about 7 or 8 hours every single day on compulsions, I managed to overcome my OCD in one day just through using thought alone. Also with agoraphobia, I also overcame that once in a day as well through somebody else imposing their thoughts on me and that making me change, because what they thought was more important to me than my own anxiety, which is phenomenal, basically. So it just goes to show that the way that we think about things does make a big difference to our reality. So my journey in this kind of field started way back with Joe Dispenza. Studied his work on mental rehearsal and, being in a higher vibrational frequency state in which to change our reality. Also Bruce Lipton and The Power of Belief, that we can reprogram our minds and that the mind plays a large role in our health and the world of epigenetics. And also Greg Braden, whose ideas are similar in that our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality. And Louise Hay, of course, who probably is right at the very beginning of all of this, really, when you think about it, especially Hay House, with the massive publishing house that's published so many books on spirituality and manifestation and the power of belief and the mind, how she believed in the power to heal your life, and that disease is created by us, or rather dis-ease, and all about self-love. She really embraced self-love. And also Wayne Dyer, who was also very much about the power of intention and how you can manifest your deepest desires. But there's always a but, isn't there? There's always a but. I have a very critical mind incredibly critical, analytical, open-minded, always questioning. So I have concerns about the blame culture involved in all of this. The people who are suffering, creating their reality through their thoughts and their beliefs. I don't like that at all. It's very judgmental. It's very much like saying, that wouldn't have happened to you if you had done the work, if you had done more mental rehearsal, if you'd been in more of a higher vibrational state, energy, frequency, then you wouldn't have ended up with cancer or something like that. I don't like that kind of thinking. And some of Hayes' disciples, they believed that they had actually not followed her well enough, and some of them died feeling ashamed, disempowered, betrayed, especially during the AIDS crisis. And then you've got other examples, where you think to yourself, well, life just isn't fair, is it? Really bad things happen to good people, don't they? And is that because they're not intending enough? Are they not thinking the right thoughts? Have they actually manifested that reality? You could think of war-torn countries, domestic violence, rape, and of course cancer, illnesses, disease. And also there's the concern that if people buy into this, some would say pseudoscience, if people really buy into it, then they may stop conventional treatment if they are actually unwell with a disease and illness, So is it a purveyor of false hope? And is it the kind of blame the victim pseudoscience? And if you think about all the manifestation craze on YouTube, all about how to be in alignment, how to increase your vibrational frequency, and how to quantum leap into your new life. Woohoo, let's do this. Yeah, okay. But why do bad things happen to good people? And vice versa. Good things happen to really people, I actually asked this on a talk that Lynne McTaggart did with Michael Beckwith. I actually asked, about, isn't there a blame culture involved in all of this? And, shouldn't we be thinking about people who, maybe bad things happen to them and they're then made to think that they're not intending properly, they're not mentally rehearsing properly, their vibrational frequency isn't high enough, they're not in touch with the higher power, etc., etc. They're not meditating enough. Can I tell you what the answer is? Not really. Didn't really get an answer that I could actually tell you, because it wasn't one that has stayed in my head, which seems to indicate to me that it really wasn't an answer. Something about sometimes we decide to incarnate to suffer, that kind of stuff. You've probably heard that one before. So, with the way that we live our lives, manifestation, reality, if it's even real, some say it's an illusion, but is manifestation, is the way that we live, is it fate? Is it all random? Is it all just too simplistic thinking that we can create our reality? Is it more complex than that, So let's go on. So since buying the course, which I'll tell you about in a minute, since buying the course, I've been doing some intentional work myself each morning, sometimes in the evening as well, where I've actually specifically got an intention. I've done some mental rehearsal, gone through the specific stages in my mind. And has it helped me at all? No, not yet. I haven't manifested anything yet, but it has uplifted my mood. I would definitely say that. And I actually didn't just buy the Intention Masterclass of 2025. I also bought the Power of 8 course. And in that, I wrote notes about being very specific on the steps that you do, very, very baby steps to manifest what you intend, a specific place to create intentions, and props and vision boards, overcoming limited beliefs, and break your goals down into tiny component parts, and how the real secret to it all is altruism, as in intending for other people, for their healing, for whatever it is that they desire, because we are made to be of service. So I got that course as well. This is how much I paid. So for that actual course, the Power of 8 course, which is, I think it's 6 or 8 videos of Lynne McTaggart basically talking. And I paid £91.50 UK money for that. And the Intention Masterclass 2025, I paid £646.85. A lot of money. Yeah. But I thought, well, this could be worthwhile. You know, you get to listen to Lynne McTaggart, you get to be put in a group of 8. Although I think that obviously if you really wanted to do this yourself, you could put yourself into a group of 8 and start this intentional work. So what's involved in the Intentional Masterclass course is 6 sessions of lectures. But what I've already found from attending the first one is what Lynne's basically doing is regurgitating from the course that I've actually bought and also her books. So for me, I'm probably not going to learn anything in the next 5 sessions. Done 1 session, probably won't learn anything new. I've bought it, so didn't need to do that. So that was one thing that I've learned so far. And then once those 6 sessions are done with, and there's 5 left, then we're left to our own devices with Power of 8 groups. Now, there was a lot of people that attended on Saturday. And I worked it out that means that the groups of 8 will be about 55 at least. That's a lot of groups. So does that mean to say that Lynne won't have any input in any of those groups afterwards? That's something that we will discover, I suppose, but I'm thinking maybe not so much, because that's a lot of groups, isn't it? So the first session last Saturday, the lecture regarding intention, like I said, everything there is already in her books and in her course. The videos that she showed, I've seen before. There was a chat, and the amount of people there were over 444, because that figure has stuck in my mind. And so if you'd like to know approximately how much money that Lynne would have made from us lot in this masterclass, she would have made just under £300,000. Buy me a house. She runs 2 companies as well, so she says, and so kind of like you could say she's getting pretty rich from this, from guiding people to creating their lives, or from exploiting gullible people, desperate people. Time will tell, won't it, really? The ratio of female to male, I think that's interesting. I mean, I would say it probably would be about 80% female and 20% male, maybe. That either means that women are more keen, or more, I don't want to be sexist here. Maybe men are less able to express themselves. That still sounds sexist. Not too sure. It could just mean that men are more intelligent. Women are more intelligent. Who knows? Anyway, in the first session, Lynne was showing a video of somebody who the intentional work had worked for. So in her group of 8, there had been some healing that had taken place. I basically said in a chat, I said, well, how about all the videos since 2013, which is when Lynne apparently has started doing these groups of 8. How about any videos or any, anecdotal accounts of people whose the intentional work, it didn't work for them? What about them? Yeah, that didn't go down too well in the chat. We also went out into breakout rooms, and we had to think of something to see if we were a leaky bucket, which basically means to see whether our thoughts could be transmitted to somebody else in that group. I think there was some success in that, actually. I think what was basically happening as well is that some people must be really kind of like able to leak their thoughts out, which means they'd be very good at passing on their healing powers or their intentions to others. So it might have worked a bit, but not very much in our group. And our homework is to record our thoughts, look for patterns and effects, look for sabotaging thoughts, that kind of thing. I don't really need to do that. I'm always thinking negatively. Seriously, I'm not. That's not entirely true, but I'm very much aware of my thoughts and how they impact my anxiety. Because, of course, I come from a background in psychology, so I am very much aware of that. Just not 100% certain that we create our reality from mental rehearsal and going through the steps in our minds and having a heightened feeling, which is Joe Dispenza type feeling. I don't know. I've tried to do it before, not really been that successful. I think my final thoughts of the first session are that people were a bit confused in the chat. There were lots of questions that weren't answered. And Lynn was kind of like just regurgitating stuff that you could get from her course that I'd already bought and didn't need to, and also from her books that she's written. So yeah, all you got to do is like read a book and you will know what she's talking about, and it's not really that difficult to figure it all out. This is quite simple stuff, really, and also in the breakout rooms, where I don't think it was explained about broadcasting intentions or thoughts very well. That wasn't explained. I think my biggest concern, which includes myself really, is that people are being exploited for their desire to change their lives. Given false hope. Some of the people in the group, out of the 444 odd people, they could be desperate, they could be unwell, it's a difficult one, isn't it? But how do we know that we're not intending all the time? How do we know that this reality that I'm in right now isn't because of what I have been manifesting through my thoughts? Maybe we are, and that's why I did this course, and because I've always been in this kind of spiritual area of work and always had a fascination. I mean, I don't believe in The Secret BS. I don't believe that your thoughts create your reality in that sense. I think there's a lot more involved. But is it Lynne McTaggart's way? I don't know. She reckons that she has not seen a single illness or disease that through a Power of 8 group they have not been able to not heal. Is that right? Let me say it another way. In the Power of 8 group, in the Power of 8 course that I bought, Lynne McTaggart says in one of the video lectures that there hasn't been a single illness that the Power of 8 group have not been able to heal through intention. I mean, you don't know that's true, do you? I mean, it's the same as like Joe Dispenza. He reckoned that he healed his spine through thought alone, through mental rehearsal. But there is no proof of that. There is no evidence of that. He provides no evidence of that. How do you know it's true? How do you know that all the people that go on YouTube and say they've been to one of Joe Dispenza's retreats and they're saying, I'm healed, whatever they're saying. Sorry, didn't mean to say it like that. I am healed. I am able to do this and I couldn't do that before, How do you know that even that's true? I've learned the hard way that the truth isn't always out there and that you have to find it yourself. So Joe Dispenza, you don't know that he did heal his spine after the cycling accident because there's no evidence. He provides no x-rays. He provides no scans in his books. Louise Hay is another very, very good example in that, she believed that she healed herself from cervical cancer because of abuse when she was, or rape when she was younger. But again, you don't even know that she has cervical cancer because she provides absolutely no proof. I'm not saying that people should give their medical records away, but I think you have to provide some evidence. Otherwise, why should people believe you? I come from a scientific background and I like evidence, not just people saying something, But I'm on this course because I still believe that we do create a reality through our thoughts and behavior and the things that we do as well. I have seen myself create things through my own thoughts, not like The Secret BS, but kind of similar, but not the same. Not a big house, not a car. I don't want any materialistic stuff anyway. I'm there because I want to create peace, harmony. I want to help others heal. I want to be able to heal myself. And ultimately, I want contentment in life and purpose and meaning. So whether I'll be able to create that through intentional work, mental rehearsal, plotting every single stage in my mind and going through it all methodically, we will see. But I wanted to tell you all about the first session, and I'll be back again to tell you about the next one. Thank you for listening to me.